Bloop. Start that again. Hi everyone, it's Molly here and welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I'm going to be reading 13 short stories that will scare the crap out of you. So let's get started. Number 1, Mummy's Home. I heard one about a father is laying in bed after just waking up. He grabs the baby monitor and walks to his desk in his office at home. He has his baby on the baby monitor and hears his wife singing to her. He cracks a smile as he hears "go to sleep, go to sleep," when suddenly the front door opens and his wife comes in with the groceries. That's actually really creepy, not even gonna lie. So if you didn't understand what that meant, it means that his wife was out, so it wasn't his wife singing on the baby monitor, it was like something paranormal or an intruder or whatever you want to believe. Number 2. Pretending to be asleep doesn't work. A young boy is sleeping in his bed on a usual night. He hears footsteps outside his door and peeks out of his eyes to see what is happening. His door swings open quietly to reveal a murderer carrying the corpses of his parents. After silently propping them up on a chair, he writes something on the wall in blood of the dead bodies. He then hides under the child's bed. The child is scared beyond belief. He can't read the writing on the wall and he knows the man is under his bed, like any child. He pretends that he slept through the whole thing and hasn't awoken yet. He lays still as the bodies quietly hearing the breaths from under his bed. An hour passes and his eyes are adjusting more and more to the darkness. He tries to make out the words, but it's a struggle. He gasps when he finally makes out the sentence. "I know you're awake." He feels something shift underneath his bed. Number 3. What's in the basement? Mummy told me to never go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making the noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy. And then Mummy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mummy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad and I cried. Then Mummy told me to never go in the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. Like the thing's called 10. A man leaves his house every morning to walk to work and passes a mental hospital surrounded by a wooden fence. Every morning the patients are out in the yard and he can hear them saying in unison, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. One day he gets curious and looks through a hole in the fence. Suddenly a stick shoots out and pokes him in the eye. "F-U-C-K," he says to himself while walking away. Peed off. He heard the patient saying 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. They literally are mental. When I was a child, my family moved to a big old 2-floor house with big empty rooms and creaking floorboards. Both my parents worked, so I was often alone when I came home from school. One early evening, when I came home, the house was still dark. I called out, "Mum," and heard a sing-song voice say, "Yes," from upstairs. I called her again as I climbed the stairs to see what room she was in, and got the same "yes" reply. We were decorating at the time, and I didn't know I didn't know my way around the maze of rooms, but she was in one of the far ones, right down the hall. I felt uneasy, but I figured that was only natural, so I rushed forward to see my mum, knowing that her presence would calm my fears, as a mother presence always does. Just as I reached for the hand on the door to let myself in the room, I heard the front door downstairs open and my mother call, "Sweetie, are you home?" in a cheery voice. I jumped back, startled, and ran down the stairs to her, but I glanced back up at the top of the room slowly open a crack. For a brief moment I saw something strange in there, and I don't know what it was, but it was staring at me. Whoa. All I saw was red. I check into a small hotel a few kilometers from Kiev. It is late. I am tired. I tell a woman at the desk I want a room. She tells me my room number and gives me a key. But one more thing, comrade. There is one room without a number and always locked. Don't even peek in there. I take the key and go to the room to sleep. Night comes and I hear trickling of water. It comes from the room across. I cannot sleep, so I open the door. It is coming from the room with no number. I pound on the door, no response. I look in the keyhole. I see nothing but red. Water still trickling. I go down to the desk to complain. By the way, who is in that room? She looked at me and began to tell the story. There was a woman in there, murdered by her husband, skin all white except for eyes, which were red. Oh, so pretty much, like, do you know he only saw red? Well, the room wasn't red, it's just her eyes on the keyhole all the time. What, that's scary. A woman got a survivalist and trained outdoors guide who loves to go solo camping returns home after 2 weeks of being in the bush and not seeing a single soul. Develops her disposable camera to find a raw film with numerous pictures of her sleeping at night on different nights. She has never gone camping or hiking since. That is really scary. Oh, there's a story about how a guy was driving through the mountains, ex-army, and came across a crash. The car wasn't damaged at all and almost deliberately placed in the middle of the road. He drove past and saw 2 people laying in the road. He pulls up in front of the crash and then looks back to see the people sat up and 20 or so eyes reflecting in his tail lights from the surrounding bushes. He slams on the gas and goes. The story scares me because this kind of thing does happen with the mountain tribes who are either cannibalistic or crazy. Oh, so pretty much like a tribe is trying to like get him, like trying to get people to stop and see if they're alright so they can eat the person, or they're just mentally insane. This isn't a story. This is me. I'm here. I'm shifting the words that you're reading, altering them from whatever this person wrote. I've been here for a while, for as long as you can remember. Anyway, sometimes I say your name as you're falling asleep, or whisper urgently in your ear. Do you remember the time that I screamed, throwing panic through and setting your heart racing? That was fun. You're wondering who I am. That's only natural, of course. You already know. I'm you, the real you. I'm the mind that existed here before you stole my body, before you forgot about being a parasite. I'm the child who looked the wrong way, asked the wrong question, saw the wrong thing, but I'm not so little anymore. You have forgotten me, but I'm still here. I've always been here. I'm going to get out. Whoa, that is really creepy. That's all we've got today, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to press that subscribe button down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye, guys.